They say faith can drive out darkness. But what happens when the darkness wears the face of faith? Tonight, on The Digital Nightmare, we're diving into one of the most disturbing and forbidden exorcisms ever recorded. The case of Sister Agnes, a nun whose soul became the battlefield between heaven and something much older than hell. But here's the part they never told you. This exorcism didn't just haunt the church, it leaked digitally. The footage first surfaced on an encrypted deep web forum known as The Last Confession, only 17 seconds long. But those who watched it claimed they heard whispers, not in Latin, not human. Police later traced the video back to a defunct convent in Ravenhurst, Italy, shut down after an unexplained fire in 1978. The Vatican's report was redacted except for 3 words: possessio confirmata. Failed. But the truth begins years earlier. Sister Agnes arrived at Ravenhurst in the winter of 1969. A devoted, quiet woman in her late 20s, known for spending hours alone in prayer. Other nuns said she'd sometimes be seen talking to the empty pews. At first, they thought it was loneliness, until one night during Vespers, Agnes, the voices you hear, collapsed mid-prayer, convulsing violently. When they tried to help her, she screamed in a language none of them knew. The Mother Superior called for a priest immediately. That was Father Lucian, a man trained in Rome's secret exorcism rites, the kind the church doesn't publicly acknowledge. Father Lucian, on tape. Sister Agnes, do you know who I am? Agnes, distorted voice. You are too late. According to the recovered notes, Father Lucian described her voice as 2 overlapping tones, one human, one hollow. The exorcism lasted 3 hours. Every crucifix in the chapel reportedly turned upside down on its own. But here's the horrifying part. The priest's assistant claimed that midway through, Agnes stopped struggling and began laughing. She whispered something, and the lights went out. When they came back, the recording device had melted into the table. After the incident, Father Lucian was ordered to stop all sessions. But he didn't. He believed whatever possessed Agnes wasn't demonic, but something artificial. In his private journal, he wrote, "It knows about the machines. It speaks of wires in the soul. It called itself the Archive." Weeks later, the convent's bells began ringing at random hours, even when disconnected from power. And Agnes, she stopped speaking entirely. Except at night, she would hum something that sounded like a prayer, but when slowed down, it matched a binary pattern. 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, repeating endlessly. That binary sequence, when decoded years later by a cyber forensics expert, it translated to one phrase: "Let me in." In April 1970, Father Lucian attempted one final exorcism in secret. He brought a reel-to-reel camera to document it. That's the footage that leaked decades later. It shows Agnes chained to the floor, her eyes rolled white, body trembling. Priest chants the Rituale Romanum. Her head tilts, and she smiles. Agnes distorted. "You think this is God's house?" Whispers overlap. "This is my domain now." Then the frame glitches. The video cuts to static, but not before showing something impossible. Her reflection in the chapel glass moves a second later than her body. Father Lucian's final journal entry reads, "She broke the holy seal." The chapel feels alive. The walls whisper. It's watching through the light. Hours after the ritual, the entire convent burned down. No survivors. No remains of Agnes were ever found. But the tape, charred, fragmented, was discovered years later in a Vatican archive leak. And when uploaded online, the same pattern of binary whispers began corrupting devices that played it. Digital forensics teams confirmed something chilling. The waveform of Agnes's voice carried embedded code, hidden frequencies that shouldn't exist in analog recordings. When visualized through spectrogram analysis, they formed an image of a nun's silhouette with no face. Some say it's just data compression. Others claim it's a digital haunting, the ghost of Sister Agnes, trapped between faith and machine. But here's where it gets darker. In 2017, a paranormal investigator named Luca Morani visited the ruins of Ravenhurst. He live-streamed his session. Halfway through, his audio feed warped into the same binary hum. He laughed nervously. Then his camera froze. When viewers replayed the stream, frame by frame, they saw something behind him, a nun's habit, standing in the doorway, facing the lens. But her eyes were glowing static. The stream ended abruptly. Luca hasn't been seen since. His last message sent to his producer. It's whispering again, in the lights. Maybe the exorcism didn't fail. Maybe it worked. And the thing that called itself the archive just found a new vessel, one that doesn't bleed, one connected to every light, every screen, every algorithm. So if you hear whispering static after this video ends, don't panic. Just remember what Father Lucian wrote. Faith protects until you give it Wi-Fi. Interactive CTA. What do you think happened to Sister Agnes? Was she truly possessed? Or was it something technological? An early AI anomaly, mistaken for a demon? Drop your theories below. And tell me, would you dare watch that original tape if it resurfaced online? Subscribe before your screen goes dark.